Robert, what made you decide to want to come back and run full-time with USAC Racing again?
Oh, I don't know. It's I feel like every form of racing, it has its own challenges, if you will. But I feel like my best chance to win consistently would be obviously in a non-wing sprint car. So I guess that would be the main reason. But I brought the couple wing sprint cars that we built, me and Don built last winter, home from PA, and if everything goes just according to plan, hopefully we can get 15 or 20 wing shows aside this USAC schedule in, and keep inching toward that direction, just simply because the payouts are so much better. Obviously, it's just as tough, if not tougher. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses, but they're all difficult, for sure. But until you take your licks with it in the wing deal and get up to speed and get fast, you're just gonna waste. You have to waste probably a quarter of a year to get back comfortable and learn what it is that you want or you like in the car, and adapt to the that H tire, which everyone seems to love, and so that's pretty much it.
You touching on that, you ran a lot in the wing stuff in central Pennsylvania. What was that experience like for you?
It was very difficult. I knew it was going to be difficult. I don't feel like I gave it a fair shake, to be completely honest. Obviously with COVID and whatnot, some of the sponsors that that had originally said that they were going to be on board, ultimately, because of the type of business that they're in, weren't able to necessarily come up with all the funds, and so then that left me kind of responsible for I would say 90% of it instead of maybe 50. And my day job is just a regular job. It's not a high paying, I'm not getting rich there, but I can go out back and eat once or twice a week. And so ultimately, I felt like couldn't give it my all. There were multiple times we'd go down there or go to PA. We raced on a Sunday at Selinsgrove and turn around, and I'd have to work Monday, and so we would drive all night home, and then I'd have to go to work as soon as I got there, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then then that leaves your whole next week tired, the whole week, and then then we would go USAC racing, and I kind of sacrificed my non-wing program substantially to be able to do that, and ultimately I was spread too thin, and we were originally supposed to run 50 races, and then with obviously COVID and whatnot, that's good. I don't even know how many races I ran, but maybe 15. I'm not really sure. But PA's tough. I knew it would be. I knew that if I could get up to speed there and contend, then I'd be fine anywhere. But some things just don't always play out in your favor, and but I'm not going to give it up. I think that if everything goes good, we could still be fast in a wing car. Just got to get all the pieces to the puzzle lined out and see where it goes.
Do you think having a year off of full-time USAC racing was sort of good for you, almost like recharging the batteries?
I don't really know. This deal, like, is same as with everything. These tires keep changing and changing and changing, and I would say that they go do these tire tests, if you will, and they're definitely not doing it to make a better tire. They're trying to figure out how they could cut their margins so that they can make it a more profitable tire, and still not have a everybody complaining night in and night out that, hey, these tires aren't lasting, they don't even last a feature or whatever. They're trying to figure out how they can keep a tire to hold together for 30 laps or whatever. And where in the past we used to get 2 or 3 nights out of a tire. Now you might only get a half a night out of a tire. But so keeping up with the tires has been a treat. But these guys are fast. In the last, like in 2014-15, I stepped my motor program up, and I was ahead of everyone. And then, after I was winning a lot, then they all, realized that, hey, we need to step our engine programs up. So now we're back on the same ground. It's hard to get an edge on anybody, and so now we're all pretty much even. So it's hits the setup, the best on any given night, and who wants it, and unfortunately, I pay for 80% of this stuff too, or at least 75, and I got to go to work on Monday morning because I got a mortgage payment. So, hopefully, in the coming years, if I can get back, on top like I was, I can find some sponsorship to where I don't have to go to work every day, and I know that I'll have enough money to survive and be able to concentrate. It's hard to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, stay in shape, and do 80% of the work on the race car. My dad just retired, so he moved across the street from me, and he's going to try and keep up with the maintenance on the car, and so that'll take some load off. Normally for the last 10 years I've drove every single mile that the rig's been rolling, night after night, and so he's got his CDL and so he'll drive during the day, and then I'll drive at night. You can't see worth a shit, but I think it's going to take a year this year to get everybody acclimated and learn. My dad's, when I raced swing sprint cars in California when I was, 14, 15, 16, he worked all the time just to be able to pay for it. So he wasn't around to see the cars built. He wasn't around. He just went to the racetrack on the weekend, and he's been away from it for so long that what he did know he's forgotten, and we're just trying to get him back up to speed. We just built this car and trying to get all the bugs worked out of it, and get headed in the right direction. It's hard to come down, first night of the year and be on point when you're trying to get everyone else to gel together. And I don't know from night to night who's going with me. I got one guy from one of my sponsors, Pennsylvania, comes and helps, and he doesn't make all the races, but he drove down here, and last year I think he missed four races of all the races I ran, even non-wing. He went to Knoxville, went to Beasley, went all over the place, driving back and forth every other weekend, 18 hours round trip just to help. So I've got, but then it's teaching them as you're trying to figure your own program out. So it's been. I wouldn't change it, but it definitely could be easier. So hopefully in the next year or so we get all the bugs worked out and get everyone gelling and working together, and hopefully it'll pay off.
How anxious are you to kick off the new season this year and to chase another title, especially after the injury you had in the rough couple of years?
Yeah, I really believe that I think it's going to take me probably 5 races, 7 races to get rolling, and hopefully I run good enough in those first 5 to say maybe 10 races that I don't fall too far behind in the points that I can gain back. Brady has a couple. He has one full-time guy, and most of these guys most of these teams have at least 1 or 2 full-time guys, and I'm kind of by myself for the most part until we show up at the racetrack. So I feel like I lack in that department. I don't lack in preparation, but I lack in sleep. And if you don't sleep, how can you perform at your peak? And if you're not, consistently exercising and staying, physically in the best shape that you can be in, how do you beat these guys? My mental state is better than anybody here, so that's where over the years I can beat them mentally, and it's just it's not easy doing this deal, and I love it, and I think that, you know, when it all comes down, you know, I think that, you know, I have the equipment to win, and I just gotta get, you know, that feel that I'm looking for. And we're not far off, but you know, it does nowadays. If you're just, you know, a tick off, you might be 5th place from 1st or 10th from 5th, and you know, it's the, you know, running the top 5 every night is what wins the championship.